you have the stuff that is not flavored well at all because of very piss poor ingredients, and it just tastes like shit. They taste like chemicals. With this, we used very high quality ingredients. I learned a whole lot about how this side of the industry works. Kind of pissed off about a couple of things that I know about other companies, but fuck it, it's how it rolls. Me, I'm going to use high quality ingredients all the time.
Welcome to PricePlow.
What's happening, PricePlow Nation and Seth Feroce fans out there? This is Mike Roberto, founder of PricePlow, where we do supplement industry reviews and we talk about ingredients, diet research. And today we're going on the ingredient side of things because if you're a subscriber to our channel, you've seen that we have done our Axe Sledge hydraulic stimulant-free pre-workout supplement review. I'm a huge fan of this because low sweetener, lots of trademark ingredients, well dosed, all that. But I want to get into the ingredients, and honestly, things ran a little bit long, so we decided to split it into two different videos. And I also kind of forgot to mention my most favorite ingredient when I originally recorded this, so I'm back in here jumping in. But overall, we're going to talk about hydraulic and a lot of the things that we're impressed about. This is, like I said, a stim-free pre-workout supplement, and guys like Seth like to get a huge pump on, and they like to get a swole pump on. And in this is a really well-rounded supplement. We have nitric oxide boosters, we have focus boosters, and a lot of these ingredients are actually, what's cool is a lot of these ingredients are actually overlapping each other in their effects. Nitric oxide, you got focus, you got the water hydration cell, like hyperhydration pump effects, and then you have endurance effects as well. So overall, I'm very excited about this. So let's cut into that. You can link back and watch my review, but overall the review is enthusiastic because they're not using a ton of artificial sweeteners. Seth came out saying like he didn't like all the sweetness going on in the supplement industry. And when you have this supplement, the first thing you notice is like, whoa, okay, this definitely is not as crazy sweet. It's not dropping a sucralose bomb on you like a lot of other supplements. But the mixed berry flavor here and the scorpion demon, whatever this thing is, it's a mixed berry flavor. It is mild at first, and then it gets better and better and better as you drink it because it finishes like the way it should, and you're not over the top sucralose out at the end. And that's why I think it's like really well done. And I'm quite honestly, it's the only flavor I've had. I'd like to try the others. That's where we're at with that. Now, let's get into the ingredients here and talk about the specific stuff. We do have a blog post where we are citing this, and as a disclaimer, this product was sent for free, and we are doing some promotions. We're going to have an affiliate relationship and a business relationship with Axe Sledge, so keep that in mind and everything. But we do want to try to get some coupons going to get the prices down because you know what, these trademark ingredients we're about to talk about do come at a bit of an extra cost, and Seth wanted to go in that direction and try his best to not have just a bunch of all generics, and so we got to respect that. All right, now let's cut into where I was at in the ingredient explainer, and you can always link back and click in the description. We'll have the link to the review and the blog post. Thanks. There is a damn fine dose in 2 scoops. You're gonna get, and I'm gonna be skipping over the label here, but you're gonna get 3 grams of glycerol, GlycerPump, which is 65% glycerol. So you're basically getting 2 grams worth of glycerol here from the 3 grams of GlycerPump. And these ingredients typically add a little bit of grit and a little bit of chalk, and you are gonna get that here. So that's the other side of things. Now the reason why this is awesome is, first off, GlycerPump is, in my opinion, the best form of glycerol out there, and this helps with hyperhydration, providing intracellular water like density and absorption between the cells, and it helps your cells retain a little bit more water. And then for guys like Seth, they get a ton of water in, and they get that like swole kind of factor. It's called hyperhydration. And so 3 grams in 2 scoops is a legitimate dose of this. And I'm a big fan, but you gotta drink a lot of water. The thing is, if you add a ton of water to this, it's gonna even like water down the flavor a little bit, but overall like drink, and you're gonna have a real good time with that. And that's not the only like osmolyte in here, which helps transfer water between cells. Taurine is an osmolyte, and it's actually an organic acid. It's not an amino acid, but it's an organic acid that helps water transfer among cells. Your eyes need it, your muscle tissue needs it, and it provides a little bit of sulfur too, which we find a lot of people are deficient in. So I'm a big fan of that. Now, there is a recent meta-analysis covering 9 studies on endurance. And what they showed is that as little as 500, but hopefully about a gram's worth of taurine on the first use provides an efficacious, like clinically demonstrated boost to endurance on the first try. I think like people seem to be possibly like maybe deficient in this. And taurine is an awesome ingredient. So you have the 1-2 water bang. And now I've already skipped a little bit lower in the label though, because now we got to go back up to blood flow, which is the nitric oxide booster L-citrulline. Citrulline we have in 1 scoop, 2.5 grams, which is almost clinical on its own in just 1 scoop. You're trying to save a little bit of cash, or you just need to get some pump because you're already awesome. But me, I need to go to 1.5 to 2 scoops, and that's what the extreme pump is. 5 grams of citrulline in the 2 scoop dose, which is well beyond clinical. Clinical is 3 grams of citrulline or 6 grams of citrulline malate, so basically we want 3 grams. We got 5 grams in the 2 scoops. Now that's gonna convert to L-arginine, and then that's going to help you produce more nitric oxide, which is gonna provide some vasodilation, give you extra blood flow, extra nutrient delivery to your cells and to your muscles. And we know the story on citrulline, but basically it's been like shown and time again that it is a great ingredient to have. That's kind of like the base nitric oxide ingredient. Then we have the 2 water pump agents, and then come in. So I already mentioned taurine, and that's an endurance booster. What they're doing here though is they're also adding beta alanine, and this isn't in every single Stim-Free supplement. Some of them do, so this isn't like their first time ever, but it's not like an overwhelming obnoxious dose. So you can't stack this with a stim-based pre-workout or get it elsewhere in your day, because in 2 scoops you're getting 2.4 grams. Not too much to give you like balls to the wall kind of tingles, but you might be feeling it. I actually haven't gotten much tingle effect with this one for whatever reason. I guess I can handle 2.4 grams. That's just me. Once in a while it might happen. I'm probably gonna start tingling this just because that's how it goes. So anyway, 2.4 grams. The clinical dose is actually 3.2 grams, but in those studies, they're actually spreading it out across the day 4 times 800 milligrams. I don't know if anyone's got time for that. So we can't really make clinical claims on it, but you're very close to getting it. So you could add a little bit more, or maybe you have another supplement out there that gets you to that if you really need to get to 3.2 grams. Now what beta alanine does is it helps your body convert, the beta alanine helps your body produce more carnosine. It binds with another amino acid known as histidine, and then you get more carnosine, and the carnosine is what we actually want, which helps your body flush like the acids out of the muscles, lactic acid and all that. Now the studies show that it seems to work best with like 1 to 4 minute range exercises. So if you're doing like quick, sets of 8, it might not do a whole lot. But if you're doing like rowing machine kind of stuff, or you're getting after it with like a longer kind of thing, I like to actually, I'm noticing like my favorite 1 to 4 minute range thing is 3 minutes of the heavy bag. So this helps you feel a little bit less of the muscular soreness. Now it's not going to provide gains necessarily directly. You got to go and take the extra endurance, and you got to take those extra reps, and then you got to do something with them, and then work extra volume in. So beta alanine gives a little bit of that extra volume gain. Now, like I said, we're really targeting there the carnosine that is created after you ingest the beta alanine, and that's kind of the same thing that we're doing with citrulline, is that we're really trying to get the nitric oxide through L-arginine. Carnosine and L-arginine aren't good to have because they're not bioavailable. A big dose of L-arginine would give you, you'd be on the toilet and all that. So what you do with supplements like this, and a lot of our people on our channel already know this stuff, but you do take the alternate pathway that gets further into your system and then gets you with the resulting amino acid we want. In this case, carnosine for the beta alanine and arginine later on from the citrulline. You actually end up with more nitric oxide production than having had taken arginine in the first place. And that's why you see all this all over the place. So for anyone else who's new out here. Now here's the deal though. We've talked about endurance, we've talked about nitric oxide, and we've talked about hydration. We got a little bit of ergogenics in here as well. And I'm talking about magnesium creatine chelate, which is also known as Creatine MagnaPower, another one of these trademark / patented ingredients. And what you have here though is 1.5 grams worth of it, and that's going to provide 120 milligrams of magnesium, or 30% of your daily value. We could argue left and right all day long. So the clinical dose of creatine, if you're not a heavy beef eater, is 3 to 5 grams per day. You're basically gonna piss out 2 grams yourself if you want to keep it at saturation, kind of like beta alanine. So 3 grams per day is what you typically want to do. So this is not a clinical dose. But I will add that many Axe Sledge fans are going to be heavy beef eaters, and you're already getting creatine in from your beef, maybe chicken. I like beef. And then also there's other creatine supplements out there. This is not going to be a clinical dose, but I am a huge fan. Creatine monohydrate, granted, is the most well demonstrated, well studied creatine ingredient. But dude, so many of you, so many of us, so many of me, so many of us are magnesium deficient. I supplement before bed, but people who are magnesium deficient have so many problems. It's like, it's unreal, from like muscle spasms to like anxiety to potential depression, and they don't even know why. And it's as simple as taking a mineral that you need in your diet. So any ingredient that adds more magnesium is all good in my book. The issue is this: if you take a ton of magnesium and then you take more magnesium, you might end up on the toilet. So 30% daily value, yeah, it's not gonna put you at like clinical 100% dose or whatever, but this is like a perfect topper. And that's what I like about this. So the ergogenic, like muscle building benefits, yeah, can I really claim it? No. Do I support putting in a little bit of magnesium creatine chelate in here? Hell yeah.
Give me a hell yeah!
I think it's a job well done, but you do want more creatine elsewhere in your day, whether it's through eating a crap ton of beef or through eating other creatine monohydrate supplements somewhere else. So that's the whole story on that one, but definitely it's gonna help you keep at saturation. After that, we have Agmatine Sulfate. Now there are some actual cognitive benefits here, because there's also some focus in this supplement, and those are secondary though. Primary for Agmatine is that you're going to play a little bit of defense for the nitric oxide, especially the nitric oxide you're producing with the L-citrulline. So Agmatine is actually an arginase inhibitor. So when we boost our arginine levels and thus our nitric oxide levels with L-citrulline, the body loves to stay in homeostasis. We talked about this a lot. We can't just be like blowing ourselves up with nitric oxide nonstop. Your body's gonna be like, yo, okay, we gotta bring that down a little bit. And so it has an enzyme known as arginase that breaks down the L-arginine and helps you like bring down the levels of nitric oxide so that you get back to normal. That's good. We want to get back to normal. We don't want to get back to normal just yet though. We want to go train. So Agmatine actually inhibits the arginase enzyme, and then it keeps our arginine levels a little bit higher, a little bit longer. And that's the main reason that Agmatine's in here. Typically, 500 milligrams is where we like to start feeling it and everything. We have 500 milligrams in one scoop, so I'm about to drink a gram of it myself. And so I'm very happy with it, especially alongside of L-citrulline at a well dose. Man, I'm telling you, it's a builder. It gets better and better.
It's tasty. I love it. So,
yeah, and you do need to swirl it a little bit. I'm so happy with this, because by the end it feels like you have had a pretty sweet drink. By the end of other drinks, you're like, man, dude, like I just gotta choke this down because there's so much sucralose. Like I venture to say this has half the sucralose of a lot of other ingredients or of a lot of supplements. But yeah, I don't know, because that part is definitely part of like a little other ingredients proprietary blend down at the bottom. But it is coming after. Holy crap! I didn't realize this. Earlier on, I mentioned there's probably a little red, little blue in here. This actually is using turmeric for color. So they're using natural colors here. I've never seen purple come out of turmeric. That's awesome. Usually like the purples, the reds come with beetroot and everything. So we have silicon dioxide and then turmeric extract for color. Awesome. Naturally colored. Seth, you're the man. I didn't even catch that. Shame on me. We'll have to update the blog post. So after that, back to the ingredients. Now it's time to get focused. I already mentioned Agmatine does that a little bit. But now we need a little bit more. We're gonna boost up some of our happy hormones, give ourselves a little bit of a dopamine spike without the stimulants, and that's with a two-form method of L-tyrosine. Tyrosine is an amino acid that converts down the chain to the focus boosting, kind of give you a slight uptick of fight or flight response, such as with like a little bit of a dopamine kick, and it begins that chain reaction. And so this is an amino acid. It's kind of like, it's not essential, but it's fun. And so we have a gram in 2 scoops. You have a gram of tyrosine, which is our favorite form of tyrosine. But some people still argue they like to have N-Acetyl L-Tyrosine because it mixes better in water and it's a little bit more like soluble. But overall, we like to have more L-tyrosine. And here Seth's like, I ain't got time for those kind of arguments, so they added both. They have a 250 milligram extra bonus dose of N-Acetyl L-Tyrosine. So you have 1.25 grams of like total tyrosines. And overall though, we're very happy with the gram of tyrosine. And that's gonna give you just a little upkick of focus, a little bit of like feel-good effects. And that's a great thing with a Stim-Free supplement, because I like to see stuff like tyrosine built in there. And so you have like focus from a couple ingredients, you have water hydration from a couple ingredients, you have nitric oxide enhancement for a couple ingredients. You see where things are like overlapping, you see where things are landing, and that's an awesome thing. And then we also have mineral support, and then I didn't mention, we also have vitamin support, because you have niacin, vitamin B6, and vitamin B12 on top of it. So like, you know, a lot of times supplement companies don't bother doing that stuff. They don't bother adding magnesium, which a lot of people do need, but maybe not too much before workout. 30% daily value is perfect. And so this is like a really well-balanced, well-blended formula. And did I finish this? Holy shit. Kind of want more. Dude, Axe Sledge. We're gonna have to test the other flavors, because this, if everything else is like this, I am very, very impressed with it. I'm happy. And with nitrosigine, we were talking about L-arginine not being as good as L-citrulline, correct? Well, a company known as Nutrition 21, who we've talked about a lot on this channel, actually, we have a whole blog post about this ingredient, so we'll link to that. But at the end of the day, they figured out how to make L-arginine more bioavailable and actually work as it was originally intended in lower doses, so that you don't get any GI discomfort or anything. And what they did is that it's bound to silica and inositol, and this provides a way, way better pharmacokinetics. And what you can get is actual huge increases of L-arginine in the bloodstream, bigger increases of nitric oxide, and then they have, we'll show some charts and everything here. Sorry, I got to cover the picture of Seth, but we'll show some charts where they actually show increased focus, and they have muscle pumps and everything, and they're comparing it to other nitric oxide boosters, and are showing a great benefit over the others. But hey, we stack them all here, so there's no problem with that. But there's more than just nitric oxide here. But what's really cool is that nitrosigine seems to keep it elevated extra long too. Like your nitric oxide levels may continue to be elevated, and they'll go down eventually, but they'll continue to be elevated over like at least the next 24 hours. We're talking like all day long pumps. And I think part of that is, I think one of the new mechanisms that they really are figuring out that is working here is that it is also, alongside of agmatines, also having a little bit of the effect of the arginase inhibition. And so it's not only boosting arginine, but it's also keeping down the keeper downer. So you are actually playing defense while playing offense with this ingredient. Huge fan of Nutrition 21, huge fan of this ingredient. And you gotta stay tuned, because there might be some like more focused stuff coming alongside with this. So there is a little bit of focus effects to some of these taurine and agmatine and nitrosigine, like citrulline even. This stuff does get to your brain, and extra blood flow to your brain is gonna give you a little bit of focus too. And we love to have that when we're Stim-Free. So the dose is 500 milligrams in one scoop. And to me, like I start feeling it dose is 750 milligrams, even though I think there's some studies on 500 milligrams, but I think 750 is where it's at. And some go all the way to 1.5 grams, but in 2 scoops, we're gonna get 1 gram here, which is above what I like. But we have seen bigger, but alongside of everything else here, I'm pretty happy with it. So hopefully we can get some coupons going on PricePlow.com. Check it out at PricePlow.com/Axe Sledge. I know this video is run long. Obviously, I'm excited. Dude, what can I say? I'm a huge fan of Seth, and that shows here. But I'm also a huge fan of the formula, and then I'm a huge fan of the low sucralose, and I'm a big fan of the natural colors. Like this is hitting a lot of check marks for me. And when I want to have a Stim-Free product so that I can drink my coffee, because I'm kind of into that lately, when I have a Stim-Free product, I do want to have a nice blend of everything. And being kind of a more endurance-y guy, I like to have those added effects on top of our nitric oxide and water pump boosters. So it's like well mixed, and the flavor is really something I've been kind of wanting lately, because there's just so much sucralose floating around anymore. So Seth, thank you so much. As it was, sent for free. Check out PricePlow.com/Axe-Sledge. I'm going to be probably keeping this one. No one on Team PricePlow is getting a hold of this one, so let's put it that way. And subscribe to the channel, because at some point, I'm going to get myself a blood glucose monitor, and we're going to be having some fun with some demo day. All right, we'll see you next time.
Welcome to PricePlow.
But so tasty. Let's get fucking started.